Hi, this is Dr. Paul Goldberg of the Goldberg Clinic. We're out here at our retreat at Brooks in Brooks, Georgia today, and we have the pleasure of having Mr. Jonathan Boyle, who has been our patient for the last couple of years. Jonathan is currently living in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, although originally from where in Iowa?
Mason City, Iowa, which is like not even 2-ish hours, probably an hour south of the Minnesota border.
And when we first saw you, Jonathan, that's where you were going to Luther College in
Decorah, Iowa, which is about an hour and a half east of Mason City.
All right. And we're here to tell the story today. I told Jonathan we're here to tell the Jonathan Boyle story because I think it's quite a remarkable story. One not only of incredible clinical improvement that he's had with us at the Goldberg Clinic, but also I think also a story that exemplifies a term that I use, the will to get well, which is a term that actually I'm writing a book about now. And I think Jonathan and Jonathan's story really, truly exemplifies that. Jonathan, tell our audience what it was, what your condition was, and what kind of problems you were having when we first saw you. This was, 2 or 3 years ago now?
Yeah, I think a little over 2 years ago. The biggest problems that I was having were all of them, quite frankly. I was anemic as a result of my Crohn's disease.
So you had been diagnosed as having Crohn's disease?
Yes.
Okay.
I was lethargic as a result of that and malnutrition because I wasn't absorbing anything that I ate very well. And that resulted in a host of other problems.
So how long had it been that you had been diagnosed with Crohn's disease, which is a type of inflammatory bowel disease?
I'm 22 now, and I was diagnosed when I was 10.
So you had actually had this problem when we first saw you for about 10 years already?
Yes.
And how much of that time had you been under medical care for that?
All of it.
All 10 years. So you had been under medical care, medically diagnosed by gastroenterologists, and under medical care for a total of a decade.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us a synopsis of what the medical care had consisted of that you had been under during that time.
Well, it was a roller coaster, really. I'd have a flare-up and wind up in the hospital almost inevitably. They put me on steroids and antibiotics. They picked from a laundry list of drugs that they used to treat Crohn's disease and similar inflammatory bowel diseases. They put me on that, sent me out of the hospital. I'd go home happy, eating whatever they told me to eat, whatever I want. And then invariably within a year or so, I'd be back in the hospital stuck in the same.
All right, and on that note, during those 10 years, about how many times do you think you were hospitalized?
It's in the double digits easily, and probably somewhere close to upwards of 20, I would say.
So during that decade, you were in the hospital approximately 20 times. During that time, I understand you would come out, you'd be on steroids or other drugs, and you might temporarily feel a little improvement. But overall, during that decade, was your health improving, staying the same, or going downhill?
Generally a downward trend, I would say, because in my sophomore year of high school, I wound up having some of my intestines removed in surgery, and then again after my freshman year in college.
So you had had 2 surgeries during this decade, where their solution for you was to actually go in there and remove portions of your intestines.
Yes.
Okay, so you had that done twice.
Yes.
Did they tell you after they had completed the surgery each time that they were done, you were cured, you were well, you have no more trouble?
The prognosis after each surgery was this should take care of things.
And how long was it usually after surgery? Well, after the surgeries, did you feel a lot better usually?
Yeah, I felt better for a limited time, and then I'd come off the steroids, and I'd start a downhill hike again.
When they did the surgeries, Jonathan, what did they tell you was the cause of your problems that they were going to solve?
Inevitably, it was stricturing or inflammation.
Well, that was the problem, the way it was manifested, but did they tell you what was causing your problem?
They said it was a result of the Crohn's disease, inflammation.
So the Crohn's disease was the result of the Crohn's disease.
Apparently.
I mean, I don't mean to be cynical about it, but it sounds like that. Did they tell you any? Let me make this a fair chance. Did they tell you anything else as to what was actually causing the problem? I know there's inflammation, it's Crohn's disease. What was causing the inflammation of the Crohn's disease according to the doctors?
As best they can describe it, it was just an autoimmune condition. But I suppose, like as you put it, it's the Crohn's disease causing the Crohn's disease was the reason.
Okay, all right. So they had the two surgeries. That was then followed by more drugs, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. And what was your weight during this period of time? Did your weight fluctuate?
Yeah, it fluctuated. As I was going through puberty and around middle school, and early high school, I hit something around 100 to 110 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And then between
How tall are you now?
I'm 6'2".
You're 6'2". Okay.
So between the ages of probably, let's just say my teen years and now, I fluctuated anywhere between 115 and probably 125 pounds at most.
Okay, between 115 and 125. So your bottom was about 115, top was about 125. So here we are today. It is October 23rd, 2015. And what is your weight now after being under our care for the past 18 to 24 months?
154 pounds.
154 pounds. Okay. Are you currently taking any drugs anymore?
I'm not.
You're not taking any more drugs. Are you currently scheduled for any surgeries?
I'm not.
Okay, that's pretty remarkable. Okay. Jonathan, there were three major aspects, I think, for you getting well. One was we'd done some testing on you. We found a dietary that was more appropriate for you so you could absorb carbohydrates, proteins, and fats in an improved fashion. Number two was getting more sunlight, and number three was getting rest and sleep, increasing those. And there was one more factor too, which was moving to Florida. And the reason we suggested that you move to Florida was because on testing, which we had suggested for you and conducted at the Goldberg Clinic, we found what?
That I was allergic to nearly everything that grew in the state of Iowa.
You had developed, either inborn or you had developed very, very high sensitivities to not the foods, but the pollens. Is that right? The inhalant pollens in there, and those pollens are active in Iowa a good part of the year.
Yeah, basically, between the thaw and until the first frost, most of them are quite bad.
Quite bad, you're right. And it really aggravated your symptoms a lot. And so I think both you and I believe that part of your improvement, finding out how to absorb food nutrients better, improving your diet, rest and sleep, sunlight, and another factor was getting away from those pollens, which are very, very high. And this is an area I think is very important. Medical doctors, you can look in the literature, you hardly find any mention of it at all. But people that have hay fever or who have asthma are particularly prone to having other types of autoimmune disorders. Even though hay fever is an allergy, asthma is normally considered allergy. So in my experience, that people who have those problems, even if they just think they have them only when they're younger, have an increased or disproportionate amount of tendency to develop inflammatory bowel disease or other types of autoimmune disorders as they get older. And in Jonathan's case, we didn't say, and I still don't say, that the pollens caused his inflammatory bowel disease, but they certainly helped to perpetuate it, and they certainly exacerbated it and made it very difficult for him to recover. So when he made that move, in his case, to go to Florida, there was a significant improvement in his condition. That doesn't mean that everybody with inflammatory bowel needs to move to Florida, because people have Crohn's disease / ulcerative colitis for a wide variety of reasons. Everybody is different. But in Jonathan's case, those inhalant pollen allergies did make a significant contributing role in the cause and in the progression of his health issues. Well, thanks so much, Jonathan, and I think that your story will be an inspiration not only to people with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, inflammatory bowel disease, but literally to anybody who has a chronic health problem and is determined to return to life, and to living life to its fullest, and has the will to get well as you have. Thank you.
Thank you.